How y'all doing?
We'll keep you for 20 minutes.
Yeah, perfect.
Go ahead.
You guys are running backs, because, can't really do too much in the run game. What's been the focus kind of in those games for you?
The focus been details. It's a whole new offense, a whole new scheme for everybody. Even me, I'm going into year 11. I've been around a lot of different offenses in this world. But it's all about details and focusing on what we have to do within the running back group. And D-Mac does a great job. The running backs coach, he does a great job with everything. So the focus there right now has just been details.
It's been about 7 years since Chip Kelly was in the NFL. Were you curious what this playbook was going to look like, and what does it look like?
Yeah, no, I was a little curious, but if you watch ball, you know what he did in college. I stayed relatively close. Had a close eye on him. When he was at UCLA, and then this past year in Ohio State. So, it's nice to see everything that he can do and put guys in positions to win. And I've learned that from experience as well.
Year 11, when you hear that out loud, what does it mean to you? What comes to mind?
Yeah, my journey, I guess, and just trying to be a shedding light for a lot of different players out there that when their backs against the wall or they have unforeseen circumstances that can transpire in so many different ways that I look at it as an opportunity for them to try to make the most out of it and never look back. That's something that I've been able to do, being undrafted back in 2015, and now I'm here still running full speed, being physical, making plays.
You talk about being that shedding light, and you talk about being a shedding light. The running back room, obviously you're the veteran, very young room. What's the biggest piece of advice that you give to those guys each and every day to get better?
Yeah, just focus on the little things. Little things will take care of itself. It's one of those things where the more you can do in this league, the longer you can play. And with those little things, that adds up over time. And so just trying to get the message to the young guys, and they've all accepted it, especially Deuce. He's coming in and he's doing everything we ask him, and I've been teaching him little nuggets here and there to help his game, and it's been good to see.
From working with Ashton Genty and just knowing what he can contribute, what you can contribute, what makes you think that you two can make for a serious dynamic duo?
Yeah, I mean we're almost like one and the same, right? He has a physical presence to him, so do I, and we're both in the pass game. That just we try to be as effective as we possibly can, and so. I think with us two in the backfield together and being able to utilize our abilities, I think that's going to be a great showing. And then also with the other backs, you got Zamir, who's coming in, and he's hungry. Sincere, he had a stellar year and then got injured, and now he's back and he's going. And even Dylan and both Chris as well. So a lot of guys in the room, they have experience, and that's something that's nice. We're all just trying to help Genty out at the same time.
You mentioned that you were kind of a connoisseur of football and college football. Obviously, I'm sure Ashton Genty caught your eye.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What did you, as a running back, did you become kind of a fan of watching him?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when you have a guy that's a generational talent like Genty, right? He comes in and he's doing unbelievable things in the college level and breaking records and close to, I'm drawing this blank. Barry Sanders, there you go. Coming close to his record and scoring touchdowns and being physical and doing everything he can, you can see why he's a first round draft pick. And so that just hypes me up even more to try to bring my presence and try to help him. And he's doing a great job. And I've been a fan of him since he started getting on the scene. And we both share the same marketing agency, which is pretty cool. So I got to meet him for the first time out in New Orleans when we got together. So had to sit down with him and we were just chopping it up, and he gave me praise and I was giving him praise. So it worked out. It worked out for the best. So.
Speaking of scoring touchdowns, you've always been a touchdown magnet. What is the key to success in the red zone?
Being physical. It starts with the line of scrimmage, and you have to understand where the ball is supposed to fit. Everybody thinks that you could just go in there and just push the pile. You can. I mean, obviously the tush push is working well, right? But you have to be able to read plays and read what the defenders are doing and get them out of position and be able to score. And that's something that I like to bring.
Right, you mentioned
mentioned that he could be a generational talent. Ashton, what is it about him as a running back that makes you believe that?
I mean, if you look at his stature, everything that he does, he's not that big in regards to being tall, but he has a little more. He's a little wider, and he can put himself in position to maneuver runs and slip out of things. I was watching his tape when he was at Boise State, and it was just you could just tell the dynamic of him reading and breaking tackles. I think that was the biggest thing that impressed me the most was that he was able to shed tackles and take it for another 60 yards. That's something that's not necessarily going on out there in the world right now, and for him to be able to do that just shows you the type of generational talent that he has, and especially out in the pass game too. We've been out here. I mean, just today he caught a couple balls, and you look at it and you're like, man, he's gonna be special.
2 more guys.
What are your thoughts on the offensive line?
Offensive line is moving. There's a lot of veteran guys. I know we brought in Kappa. Kappa's been a good fit. Dylan's been excellent. I mean, obviously Colton. He's played in the league for quite some time. So to be able to, and JPJ, setting the standard. So to be able to have those guys up front, man, is definitely paramount in trying to build this thing and trying to make it go. Everything starts with the line of scrimmage, and if you have enough guys that are bought in and they're willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, it just shows you how this offense can portray and project into the next level.
What have you seen from the defensive side of the ball? Those guys that are putting in the work just as you guys are.
Yeah, no, the defense, man, they're doing an unbelievable job. We had a stat today throughout this entire process from OTAs on to Minicamp where there was 280 something plays. And within those 280 something plays, there was 2,783 punch attempts, which shows you that they're really trying to get the ball out. And we had one that was counted as I don't like to say the F word. I'm not an F word guy, so once y'all understand who I am, I hate saying that word. So we put the ball on the ground, and it was just that one time. So that's the big emphasis for the defense. And I've been around, even with the Niners, and it was the same thing. Pete came over that Legion of Boom era. He's trying to mimic that over here, and you could tell a lot of the guys are bought into that.
All right, thanks, Raheem.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.